Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of my virtual family out there. I see you, Betty. Good morning, Betty, and Paulini, and Sandy, and Sister Teresa, all of you. And I'm sure there's other people watching that haven't said good morning yet, but good morning. I am so thankful to be alive today. I think all of us are thinking about, I know I'm thinking about 9/11. I'm thinking about these fires and all the smoke and everything that is around us. And I mean, I just couldn't believe when I woke up the other morning and I could not see Mount Diablo. For those of you who know where I live, I can see Mount Diablo out of my front door. And when I couldn't see it, I knew something was wrong, and it was so dark. And so we're going through some stuff. 2020 will go down as a year of something. I don't know. I'm sure that for our ancestors, there was a time in their lives, World War I, World War II, the Depression, all these kinds of things that they went through. But wow, we're going through it. 2020, we've been hit. But I want to talk about 9/11 so you can see behind me. I have the Twin Towers and the pictures. I thought it was such a beautiful picture on Facebook. So I just copied it and made it my backdrop. I apologize for if I'm a little pixeled. I wore black to stop that from happening. My green screen is on its way. But I wanted to, my heart is a heart that lives in two places. It lives in California and it lives on the East Coast. And when 9/11 happened, I had already moved here. And so I just wanted to make sure that today we not in upset or crying or any of that. I did cry a little bit this morning, but I was watching the celebration of all those lives. And I realized that we have to pass our blessings on while we're here. We have to tell people that we love them while they're here, because in a blink of an eye, something can happen and they're no longer with us. We can no longer hear their voice. We can no longer be with them. And so I just want to say to all of you who have supported me for I've been in California now 33 years. So there are those of you who have known me for that entire period. There are those of you who have known me for a very short period of time. But I just want to say to you, thank you. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for helping me raise my children. Thank you for bringing me food to my home when I didn't have any. Thank you for calling me and sitting beside me when I had cancer and was going through chemotherapy and all of that. Thank you. Thank you. I want you to know now, in case I never get a chance to tell you again. I pray I'm here tomorrow, but if I'm not, I want you to know how much you mean to me. I want you to know how much your prayers have meant to me and my family. And may God just continue to bless all of you in your lives and that you stay safe and healthy. But I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you and how grateful I am. I want to thank my children this morning because they have been my muse for everything that I am, everything that I will continue to be. And I want to thank them for putting up with their crazy mommy. Because those of you who know me really well know that I have a really kooky, crazy side. And my children know that better than anybody else. So thank you, Milton and Jade, for loving me and being my muse for everything. I am so proud of you, and it's an honor to be your mom. So I got a lot to talk about today. I want to talk about, before I get into the 9/11, because I want all of you, write in the chat, where were you on 9/11? How did you hear about it? But the wildfires have been heavy on my mind. Yesterday, I went into the garage and got my emergency kit thingy, backpack. We have 3 of them, actually. 1 for the dogs, one for the family, and then one that has like extra stuff in it. So there's 3 of them. They're in a box, in a those carry boxes that you get at, like, where do you get them? The 99-cent store, Target, they all have them. It's plastic, heavy duty. And I'm going to change it to a steel one because if there were a fire, it would melt, right? So, but all my stuff is in that, everything that we need. And passports, things that if we had to grab it and get the heck out of Dodge, we could. And I'm not going to talk about the things that are in there because I don't want anybody who's watching this, to know everything that's in there. But I do want you to know that I'm going to tell you the things that are important that are in there. So in the emergency kit, you need to have face masks and coverings. You need to have a 3-day supply of non-perishable food and 3 gallons of water per person. Okay, 3 gallons of water per person. And I got actually gallons of water, and I actually realized the other day, some of the packet water that I have is about to expire. So I'm going to take it all and give it to my homeless friends up in People's Park so that they can drink it and it won't go to waste. But 3 gallons each. A map marked with at least 2 evacuation routes, and practice evacuating your house. I'm telling you, you will never realize that you don't know how to get out of your house in an emergency. The garage door may not go up. There's a whole bunch of things. So have multiple routes. If you have a multi-level home, you need to have one of those ladders that folds out. REI sells them. You can find them in all kinds of camping stores. But please do something to make sure you can exit your home safely. And the best place is to get out into the street area. You don't want to be stuck in your backyard under trees and things that could either go up in flames or fall on you. So your exit must be a clear exit and a safe exit. You want prescriptions and special medications. Have an extra supply of those in there, or a listing of them, or take a picture of that bottle, put it in there, so if you had to go to a pharmacy and not able to get back in your home, that you have your medications, because that's going to be really important. You need a change of clothes. You need extra eyeglasses and contact lenses if you wear them. I call the contact lens water that you soak them in contact juice. Make sure you got some contact juice. And if you wear contacts, make sure you bring your glasses as well, because in an emergency, and I'm noticing it more and more with all this smoke, my contacts aren't working for me. My eyes are burning with them in. So let's do that. You need an extra set of car keys, credit cards, a little bit of cash, a little bit of cash, because the ATM machine might not be working. I mean, think ahead. You want a first aid kit, a flashlight, a battery-powered radio. I actually have one of those radio thingies that turn. So it's powered by us turning it, but it also has batteries as well. Sanitation supplies. I found at REI, and I'm going to be a little graphic here for a minute. They have a urine bathroom thingy. I'm so bad at this, right? But it's a little packet, and you can put your waste in there, and it solidifies around the waste so that you can take it and throw it away somewhere. And I have those in my supply kit. But you also need toilet paper, hand sanitizer, hand wipes, things of that nature. I even have a portable camping shower that I put in there in case. For my dogs, they've got a doggy tent. They've got a fold down little cagey thing for each of them that's in there. Dog food, dog treats, muzzle for each of them, because in an emergency, they're going to freak out. And so we're going to have to muzzle them to keep them from biting us possibly, or biting somebody else out of fear. Extra leash, extra blanket, fold up blanket for them. They're set. Okay, I made sure that they were set. And anything that toy thing that they may need to help keep them calm. For my baby that's really messed up, I actually have one of those wrap calming doggy vests for him, because he's never been 100% since he was abused by his previous owners. Items that will take time. Family photos. You know, there are some family photos that are not replaceable, and you may not have them on your cell phone because they were taken before cell phones even existed. If they're that important to you, make sure they're in that emergency bag that you're going to take. Chargers for your cell phone, your personal computer, if you can get it out there in enough time, but be prepared. You've got to be prepared, okay? So the emergency supply kit is, thank you, Nancy, I agree. It's not just for the fire, it's not just for, but earthquakes. We live in earthquake land. And so it's going to be really important that we're prepared. And you know what, folks, I hate to say this, and I am not putting it in the stratosphere, but with everything else that's going on in the world, let's be prepared for that earthquake. I think we had a 3 point something last week. So let's be prepared for it, praying to God that it doesn't happen, but let's be prepared for it. So the other thing that I want to share with you that's happening this weekend, and if you're interested, send me a direct message and I will send you the link to get engaged and involved. Reverend Jim Lawson Jr. and Reverend Phil Lawson, both are they're brothers. Yes, they're brothers. I call them the Brothers Lawson. And the California Nevada Conference of United Methodist Women, in partnership with the California Nevada Conference, UMC, that I'm a part of, they're proud, and I'm proud to be the moderator along with Stacy Current, District Superintendent Stacy Current. And we're hosting a conversation about racial justice yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Please, if you have an hour and a half tomorrow between 1 and 2:30 Pacific Coast time, or District time, I don't even know what it's called, West Coast, okay? Tune in. These gentlemen were a part of the civil rights movement. They are amazing. And I had I sat with them with Stacy and Nancy Redding, my good friend, to set this up. And they are amazing. So join us tomorrow. Again, if you want to participate in that, give me a DM and I will send you the Zoom link for you to be a part of that. Oh, pepper spray. Yes, Nancy said put pepper spray in your kit. So I think it's important that we just be prepared. Being prepared just means you don't make things happen just because you're prepared. It just means you're prepared so that if it does happen, you're not running around all willy-nilly and you have time to breathe and to get yourself and your family and loved ones safe. So I asked the question, okay, thank you, Betty. Betty said use small bills because cash registers won't work. You don't have to pay, you want $20 bill. You need to make sure you have some small bills because people might not be able to make change for you. Teresa says where she was on 9/11. Again, the question today is, where were you on 9/11? I was at work and my husband Jeff called me to tell me what had happened, and he wanted to make sure I called him when the boys were picked up from school that day. And he wanted us to know that he loved us and that he was well. So many of us have been, 9/11 was for me, I woke up. The television, at that time I had television. Shortly thereafter, I got rid of it. That's interesting. My daughter, I think, was only 3 years old. So that would have made Milton about 13 or so, because they're 10 years apart. And I'm helping her. I can hear Katie Couric and Matt Lauer, because I used to watch the Today Show when I had television or when I paid for television. And I could hear them talking, and I could hear something, and then I heard, and I walked into the living room to grab a sock or a shoe or something for Jade, and I saw the picture of the first Twin Tower being hit, but I actually thought it was a movie. When I first saw it, I thought it was possibly them reviewing a new Arnold Schwarzenegger movie or something. So I didn't even pay any attention because I was running around starting my day. And I ran, went back to the room, and then I heard Katie Couric say, oh my God, this is real. And when I heard that, I grabbed Jade and I ran back into the living room and looked at it. And the next thing I know, they showed another plane coming, and then the DC came up, and I just was standing frozen, thinking, oh my God, who do I know that lives in New York? Who do I know that is in that building right now? Oh my God, there's a daycare center at the bottom of one of those buildings, because I know, that I was the president of the Child Care Council for many, many years. So I studied children's daycare, Head Start, and all of that before I went into elder care. And I kept thinking about those children. What's going on? And the next thing I knew, I heard that we were under attack. That's the word that I heard. We are under attack. Sandy says she saw the second tower get hit. My sister Teresa says she was at work and watching on the jumbo screen in the network operations center, and she saw the planes going into the World Trade Center and how horrifying it was. We were all in disbelief, we were all just like, could this really be happening? My sister Jeannie said she watched it, and she was listening to Good Morning America too, where as she got little kids ready for school. So we were all just going through our regular normal day, as we always do, to get ready and to get out. Oh my God, this thing happened. It changed the trajectory of, and the Furman saw the second tower. Stuart Furman, who you guys know now, Stuart, said that he saw the second tower being hit. I think it tore up my innocence, right? The last bit of innocence that I think I had, and I tried to maintain because I tried to be childlike still in my heart, was gone for that moment. I saw people running out of smoke, similar to the smoke that we're experiencing here in California, but running out of it from the debris and everything. And then when I saw people falling out of the building, that was it. I dropped to my knees and began to pray. And at that particular time, 19 years ago, I was a fledgling Christian. My faith was not as solid as it is now, but I still dropped to my knees and said, God, why? What's happening? And then I remember thinking to myself, what did we do? Why would they do that to us? Right? And then I thought, I'm keeping my kids home today. I'm staying home today. And I did. I didn't leave my house the entire day. I was frightened. I was scared. Robert Washington, good morning, Robert. It's good to see you. Peace and blessings. He was in London, and he came out, and people were saying what they had heard and what they had seen. So I'm sure you were like thinking, oh my gosh, what's happening back home? Is this really true? And then our sister Betty, who says, she's a New Yorker. Yes, you are, my sister, with lots of family and friends. And she was home here in California crying and yelling. And she said, same here. It was Katie Couric and Matt Lauer's voices that she heard. And thankfully, she did not lose anyone. Nancy Redding, she said, I immediately heard a voice within say, there will be another plane that would crash in a building. Pray. And she prayed. And the Furmans were in Hawaii at the time. And Jane mentioned earlier that they were awakened at 3 a.m. and they were glued to the TV for the day. And they said very little to each other. They sat in silence because they were so stunned. That's it. I was stunned. And then Nancy, again said that she immediately heard that voice say, something else is going to happen. Let's pray. But you know what happens in those times, you guys? We come together as a humanity. I know those pictures behind me are pixeled and not really good to see. If you go to Facebook, you can find it. And I'm sitting in front of the Statue of Liberty. But But we seem to come together in a crisis, right? We come together black and white, and no matter what hue of melanin you have in your skin, we come together. In those moments, I saw people running up, grabbing other people. They didn't look at them and say, "Are you black?" First of all, they couldn't figure it out. They had ash all over them. They didn't care whether they were gay or straight. They just went to help a fellow human being. And then these catastrophes go away, and we go back into this crazy Twilight Zone place where we don't like each other anymore, and we don't love each other anymore. Why is that? It's a great human trait. I'm glad the universe decided to give it to us, that we come together in a modern day. And Jeannie says, it was so horrifying, and it was our modern day Pearl Harbor, and she felt completely in disbelief. Yeah, disbelief, stunned, shocked, right? But we came together. Those acts of kindness throughout that day and the weeks to follow were amazing to watch, amazing to be a part of. The United Methodist Church that I belong to played a pivotal role at Ground Zero. I couldn't fly after that. I don't know about any of you, but I didn't fly again until I went to Cuba in 2016. I just couldn't get on a plane because I'm a horrible flyer anyway. I hate flying. I hate to take off in the landing. If you ever see me on a plane, don't come sit next to me because I might squeeze your hand until you have no more blood in you. I always sit at the back because I like watching everybody. And I'm the person that if you start acting out on the plane, I'm gonna make you sit down. I'm gonna make you sit down. So after 9/11, I couldn't get on a plane. So I lost out on many, many opportunities because I just wasn't courageous enough. I couldn't muster up. And I was so worried. My children were still very young. I was at that time, by then, a single parent because I was divorced. And I just couldn't take the chance. Couldn't take the chance. My auntie, who works at CMS in Washington, D.C., I was so worried about her because I didn't know where, in a geographic way, that the CMS building was to the Pentagon. I'm happy to say my Aunt Linda came out of that okay. We went into some crazy times, you guys, in that, and we're in some crazy times now. Suzanne Murphy says, if only this pandemic brought us together versus dividing us. I'm so sad lately. Yes, me too. Teresa says, very true, Micheal. It's sad and horrifying. We all bleed the same color and we all have the same parts inside. They are not distinguished by our color. Stuart Furman, thank you, brother, says, so true. So true. So we end up in a catastrophe using the very gifts that we were given. The gift of coming together, the gift of loving one another, the gift of patience, the gift of all these incredible values and gifts that the universal creator gave to all of us, whether you are a Christian or not. We were created by something. And all of that means it is time for us to become a humanity. I agree with all of you. Susan, I agree with you. I agree with all of you. The time has come, sisters and brothers, siblings of the humanity, that we take care of each other in a way as if there's a catastrophe every single day. As if our lives depended on it, because it does. When one of us is suffering in this world, we are all suffering. We are all suffering. I have a homeless family. I hate to call them that because they're my friends, unsheltered. They were evicted from their apartment last week. I met them last week in People's Park with their child. I asked their permission to share their story. We have a moratorium supposedly, on evicting people during this time. So how the hell are those people living in People's Park? Okay? I know that if you're a landlord, you have a mortgage to pay. But you know what? We bailed out all the banks. And I'm sorry, I'm getting political on you here. We bailed out all those banks when we had our the decline in our financial stability here in America, and we bailed them out. You banks out there, if you're listening to me, and even if you're not, I hope that somebody who is watching this will send this to the CEO of Wells Fargo, B of A, and all these banks. Give these people a break so they won't oppress other people and put a 3-year-old child out in the street. You can't be that greedy. You make a lot of money, because every time I go to the ATM, I got to pay for it. So you make a lot of money. Give the people a break so that they can give somebody else a break. Stop saying we're all in this together when your capitalistic greed puts a family in a park. And it's not right. I'm not saying that we shouldn't earn money. We all need money. I need money. I bought this stupid coffee this morning because I had money. But at the end of the day, come on, we got to bail out the people. Thank you, Susan. We got to bail out the people. And you wouldn't be rich if our money wasn't in your banks for you to invest. I love that family up there. I cry for that family up there because there's a child up there in that park. We need to do something. We need to do something to help and to create that humanity, that same humanity that, I'm sorry, you guys, but it bothers me to see homeless children. You hear me? Bothers me. Breaks my heart. Breaks my heart. So let's do something. Write somebody. You know what? All of my brothers and sisters out there, write somebody. Get on the phone and write somebody and let them know that you don't agree with this. The moratorium was to protect people, but I get it. I get it. I get that people have mortgages and they have things that they have to pay. But let's do this together. Let's stop wearing t-shirts and caps and writing slogans. Let's live it out. I don't need you to tell me we're all in this together. Show me that we're all in this together. So I've been on my bandwagon this morning. I'm sorry. I love you all so much. Thank you for putting up with me. But at the end of the day, I share my heart with you. I don't know any other way to be. And I really believe that we are coming into a time where we will be a humanity together, because there's no such thing. There's only one human race, and we all belong to it. One human race, and we all belong to it. I want to thank you for joining me today at Life is a Sacred Journey. A half hour is just not enough. I hope that I will see you all tomorrow at the webinar, and if you're interested, please let me know, and I will definitely send you the link through Zoom so that you can participate. Thank you for sharing all of your stories. Yeah, Stuart said he wasn't flying too much either after that. It's okay, you guys. Thank you, Teresa. Yes, it's okay. We're going to be all right. But we're going to be all right because we're going to come together. Stop thinking that we can't do this together. Stop thinking that it's somebody else has to do it. And know that we will never forget the people's faces that you see behind me. Families, friends, somebody's mother, somebody's father, somebody's child to be, somebody's grandmother, somebody's child was lost on 9/11. You will never be forgotten. You did not die in vain. And we will try to be the humanity that the loss of your life showed us that we could be. Be well, everybody. And we will be back next Friday morning at 8 o'clock. It is my honor to serve you because I believe I am serving you. Any ideas that you have that you would like us to talk about, please share them with us and let us know. And we will bring those ideas forward. We have some great guests coming up in the near future. And I just want to thank you. Thank you for your support. And have a wonderful, blessed day. Stay safe. Wear your mask. Continue to wash your hands. And hug yourself. Hug yourself. Okay? If you're alone, give yourself a big old hug. Just squeeze until you can breathe in the glory of who you are. You are an amazing human being. And life is a sacred journey. Peace.